TV.
19 minutes to 8 a.m. this Friday morning, we're now going to be taking a look at the judiciary. Now, the coronavirus has forced changes in how government and private businesses run. One of them being the Ugandan judiciary that has adopted to the new normal by investing in digital platforms. Now, we do know that the electronic case management system is something that the retired Chief Justice Pat Katurebe left in place as he was leaving, and it was a very good one. Actually, the digitalization of the judiciary was very welcomed. Now, joining us to have a conversation on this and how far it has gotten during this time is the judiciary spokesperson, Jamson Karemani. Welcome to Morning at NTV.
Thank you.
We'll start off with how far with the electronic case management system?
I will first give a background of how we have moved.
Okay.
We have tried to automate the courts, and this started way in 1997. That's when we started the computerization of the case management system. And in 2015, we came up with an ICT strategy, which was running up to this year, close of this year. So it has been running for 5 years, and it had various components. Most of the things you have seen happening are part of our strategic plan. These include the audio-video links. You have been seeing Uganda Road linking to Ruzira.
Yes.
We have increased the internet connections to all courts. As we speak now, every judicial officer, when I talk of a judicial officer, I mean a judge and a magistrate, as well as a registrar. Each has a laptop, and that is all under that strategic plan. Now we have been moving, and we are now trying to widen. And the widening we are talking about is the electronic, that is the ECMIS you have heard of, Electronic Court Case Management Information System. That is going to be wider. It has very many components, and some of these components include online filing of cases, whereby you don't need to come to court to file your case. You just sit wherever you are, in your sitting room, using your tablet, using your phone, using your computer. You just file your case and it comes to court. You can pay fees. We have seen people who go to court and they are referred, sometimes they say you have come late, like payment of bail money. The bank is closed. So this time you will be paying online using your money mobile, using your EFT through the bank, so you can transfer your money from the bank to URA, and then we get information.
Now, when you mentioned, just to stop there for a bit, say
Yes.
filing a case and
Yes.
also paying, a number of times when it comes to the internet,
Yes.
ICT, sometimes you will do something on your end,
Yes.
and they will call, you might call to confirm, and they'll say, well, on our end the network is down.
Yes.
So sometimes things like that,
Yes.
network issues
Yes.
around the country.
Yes.
How are you bracing yourself for that point?
We are working with the NITA, that is National, the ICT Authority. We are working together with it to ensure that we broaden our ICT, internet connections, and the bandwidth is also increased. So we hope to have stable internet. We hope to have stable internet, and then we also hope to install backups. In case it does not go through, it means in the system, it is later delivered. Yes.
And you're sure, because I know that sometimes you can't say you're 100% sure with technology.
Yes.
But what happens in case the system is down?
In case the system is down, we shall have to have a fallback, like I've said, of how we can have a recovery. Okay? How we can have a recovery. What was being done, and in the middle it has not gone through, it can always be delivered at a later time.
Okay.
And it will be giving you a feedback if you have succeeded.
Okay. Now, this also allows a number of people to be a part of the system in every court hearing and or
Yes.
wherever you are, from the media to
Yes.
someone on the other end of maybe in Kisoro,
Yes.
deep down. But the internet thing, the internet coverage, because not every part of the country is fully connected to internet, which you
Yes.
mentioned that you're going to be working with NITA on.
Yes.
But for now, what happens to that individual who can't be a part of a court hearing?
We want to establish some centers where they can seek assistance. For starters, we shall have desks at our courts where those kinds of people can go for for assistance. But still, it will be done online. They will be helped to file their cases online from the court centers. At a later time, we hope to adopt something that will enable someone to go like into internet cafe, and still you are helped to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Now bring it to present time from March, all that has been done with the electronic case management. Have there been any challenges?
Oh, like I said, we had our strategic plan, which was running up to the end of this year. Now, some of the things we anticipated to do later, because of the situation that cropped up, we had to now be on our toes and make sure we do things earlier than we expected. So, in recent times, you have seen an increase in our audio video link. We have increased the number of prisons where we connect. Initially, we were connecting to only Ruzira Upper and Women, and then it was connecting to Buganda Road and the High Court Kampala. Now, when the situation that we are in came up, we had to increase the centers because the prisoners were being now remanded to Chitalia, all of them from the Buganda region, and still we needed to do business by reaching them. So we had to establish another link to Chitalia prison. While the women during this time, they were being remanded in Chigo. So we had to reach the women as well, and now we had to establish another link to Chigo. The Chief Justice also came up with the guidelines, because in everything you do, there must be a law backing it. So you can't just wake up and you start doing business and you tell people we are going to do business, audio, video, they will challenge you. So he had to come up with guidelines which the law allows him to do. And those guidelines enable us to do business using Zoom. You have seen some courts which have used Zoom. An example is Ginger, during the bail application of the deputy RDC there. They used Zoom. They used Zoom to connect the court to that prison is called I think it is Chilinya prison. They used Zoom in court, and that way. So all that was enabled by the guidelines which the Chief Justice put in place. So we have had to do things, including those guidelines came up because of the situation we are in. We are now we are trying to enable all the courts to do business online. You can now file some of the documents already can be received in court through internet. An example is submissions. If you have had a case, it is ended and you are making submissions, a lawyer can just send them by email to the court, and they will be received, and that is recognized as a way of delivering the documents to court. Any
chances that perhaps you're putting into fact the fact that sometimes things can be tampered with, these documents? So how transparent, how protected is all of these documents that are being placed on these servers? Now,
what we have tried to do, because we also have our IT department working together with NITA, we have been trying to put up security measures to avoid people who might tamper with the system. So one of the features that we have is that whoever logs in will be recorded to have entered through this ID. So in case you do anything, you know that you will be traceable.
So what if I use yours, Jamson? I just happen to land on it and I use it, and eventually when they track it to you.
Yes, if you happen to be careless with your ID and it is used by someone, then you, the owner of the identification number, you will be responsible. You have got to be the one to be asked. And of course, there are other things that are being done, including installation of cameras. So it can be traced that someone was logging in at this time from this place. So that is some of the security measures that are being put up.
Okay, now I know that this system can actually link to other institutions. Which institutions is it linked to?
Now, this institution is going to link to all justice actors, and these include, we shall link to prisons, we shall link to DPP, we shall be linked to police, we shall be linked, and importantly, we shall link to NIRA, because sometimes we need to understand the identity of people, so we link to NIRA for purposes of identification, because it has that that backup of theirs, we shall be linking there. Judicial Service Commission, all those institutions that are involved in administration of justice will be linked to this system.
Okay.
Yes.
What has been the reception from the public? Because usually you might do this, but how are they receiving it?
On a bigger note, it has been welcomed because of the advantages it is coming with. The convenience of you not having to come to court, doing it at any time, no deadline, you can be anywhere, you can even be out of the country and you file your case. So those advantages have made people embrace the system. You can check your status of the case anytime. Once it comes into place, we shall have no loss of files because it will be electronic. This business of a file is misplaced, is lost, will no longer be there, and it will really ease the work of everyone.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, lastly, you've mentioned e-filing.
Yes.
There's e-payment.
Yes.
What are options are there for the system, this particular system that anyone can use from any place?
E-filing, we have e-payment, and the checking of status of case from anywhere. If you have the number of your case, as you are seated here, you can log into your phone and how far is my case? When is it coming up? The date of hearing, you can check it from here. So all are some of those are functions that we shall have for people to use and the advantage.
As we talk about the new normal and how things are changing, do you think with this change we might see, okay, when appearance in court and digitalization, or do you think we'll be going in one particular area from now on? Or they'll be working hand in hand? We
want to see a reduced number of people coming to court because most of the business now will be done online, and one of the other things that we feel will be reduced is corruption, because corruption is perpetuated by interaction of human beings. Now that things will be done online, it will reduce on the corruption very much. We are very hopeful that it will reduce on the corruption. Generally, we shall have less people coming to court.
Okay.
Yeah, and like in this situation we are in, I wish it was operating right now. It would
Well,
have been a very big tool.
Yes, but we know that you're starting from somewhere.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, do you think it will also be able to speed up the process of going through the entire judicial process? Because at this point in time, with things like case backlog,
Yes.
do you think it will be able to help with that?
Yes, definitely it will aid on the reduction of the case backlog, because all the processes I've been mentioning which are happening manually, once they are electronic, it will reduce on the backlog. People will work quicker than the way we are doing things. Looking at volume of documents, you have seen some people carrying pickups. Now that is going through such a document takes a lot of time. Looking for a file when it is lost, that is now time being lost. But now that you can be able, even a judge will sit in his sitting room at home and can read a file from there.
Okay.
Yes.
We see that you're surely going digital.
Yes.
All right. Now that you have mentioned that this is it's an ongoing project.
Yes.
Do we hope to see that there's a particular timestamp to when we know that it will fully be up and running?
Now, right now, we are of course, behind the scenes things are moving on. We hope to start a pilot. The pilot will include the Kampala courts and then extend to Jinja for purposes of picking something up country. We want to pilot it for at least 1 year and see how it works and fill the gaps that they may come up, and then thereafter we hope to roll it out.
Okay.
At a later time.
Is there a particular time of, say, this is when the year will start?
We are looking at launching in 2021. We hope to launch it, and then people can start now using it.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on Morning at NTV, Mr. Jamson Karimani, who is the spokesperson from the Judiciary.
Yes.
And we've been having a conversation about the electronic case management system within the Judiciary that has been, one would say, a blessing in disguise within the pandemic, that they have been able to even do more than they have in the previous years. That was our conversation this morning on Morning at NTV. We're now going to be taking a short break, but we'll be coming right back.